Well, hello there, folks, and a very warm welcome as usual back to What's for Tea and our wee recipe for this week. And I do hope that I find you very well indeed. So, thanks for coming over for this very easy crock pot or slow cooker soup. I haven't done a slow cooker recipe for a wee minute, so I thought I'd get it out just to make this lovely soup. So, this is the classic combination of potato and leek. It's lovely and creamy. The ingredients are so simple, and I will put them on the screen as we go, but you'll also find them down below in the description box. So you'll need a couple of large leeks, just like these. Just trim off the end, and you want to slice these and give them a really good wash because they can be quite gritty. So make sure you get all of your dirt off your leeks. And then your potatoes. I am using Maris Piper potatoes again. Just peel those, rinse them, and then cut them into chunks. And then you can use whatever herbs you prefer, but I think sage and thyme and rosemary go really nicely with the potato and leek, but use whatever you prefer. We're also going to add a wee splash of cream and some butter just to add a wee bit of richness into the soup as well. I am going to use vegetable stock, but you can use chicken stock if you prefer, but I'm going to use the vegetable because I want to keep this one vegetarian, but you could use either or. I'm also going to add a wee handful of parsley. Don't worry if you don't have any parsley. If I've got it, I use it. If I don't have it, then I don't use it. You can also use the one in the jar if you don't have any fresh. I am using a 3.5 litre crock pot, and you'll get loads of portions out of this. So the first thing I like to do is pop my potato into the bottom, followed by the sliced leeks. But like I said, make sure you wash those very well because you will find trapped dirt everywhere in these leeks. A good dash of salt and pepper. I am just using the cracked black pepper, so as much as you like to suit your own taste. And then we're going to go in with the herbs, but like I said, use whatever you prefer, whatever you think complements the leek and potato, use. So I'm using the thyme, like I said, and then the sage and also the rosemary, and I also found some oregano there, so I ended up using oregano as well. But I find that oregano has got quite a strong flavour compared to the rest of the herbs, so I only used a 1/4 teaspoon of the oregano. I tend to use this more in Italian type dishes or in pizza, but it also works really nice, you know, in a soup like this as well, but I just don't use too much of it. So now I'm getting in with my stock. So this is my vegetable stock or chicken stock if you're deciding to use the chicken stock, and your stock should come up about 3/4 of the way of your crock pot. You don't want this swimming in liquid because your vegetables will release liquid as well. And you don't want, you don't want this watery. You want this nice and thick. Now we're going to add a wee touch of butter. This is going to add some richness into what would be quite a watery soup otherwise. And then just before we serve, we're going to add some cream as well. And it's not, you're not going overboard with the cream and the butter. It's just to add a wee bit of something else. So pop your lid on, and you want to get this onto high for about 5 hours. You'll know when you're ready to move on because all your veggies will be breaking down. Your potato will be nice and soft, and it will look nice and murky like a swamp, just like this, and you know you're ready to move on. Now I wouldn't eat this soup like this. Obviously you could, but I'm going to go in with my immersion blender and blend this down. You can make this as smooth as you like. I still like some bits floating around in my soup just to make it a wee bit more interesting. I don't like when soup is the same all the way through. I just find that really boring. So I've left some chunks in the bottom. Turn off your slow cooker, and you want to stir in your cream, and the heat that is in your soup will warm up your cream beautifully. You don't have to have this on cooking for any longer. The last thing I'm going to do is chop up some parsley and stir that through as well, and that's you done. And how easy was this? But like I said, I do like to leave some chunks in the bottom of mine just to make it a wee bit more interesting when you get to the bottom of your bowl. But like I said, you can blend this down completely smooth if you like. It's just going to get thicker and thicker the more you blend it because your potatoes will just keep breaking up and be thicker. But this was more than thick enough for us. So we had this for our tea, and we also had some wee warm crusty rolls on the side with cheese and tomato. But honestly, this bowl of soup is a meal in itself because it's so hearty and so thick and rich. You really don't need anything else with it, and it makes a lovely lunch, and it freezes really well as well. So thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and a huge thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube as well, for you all for leaving your lovely messages, for those that share the videos as well, for those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link, thank you so much. And for those that have left me a super chat or super thanks donation on the channel as well, I really do appreciate everything that you do, and for you all for watching, because if you weren't watching, I wouldn't be here putting up these wee videos and doing this, and I just love making these wee videos. So I will catch up with you during the week for another video or 3 back here on What's for Tea. Take care and bye for now. Bye now.